Okay, you guys. So please be prepared today for our virtual field trip to respond either by using your mic or in the chat. There's going to be parts of the lesson where I need everyone to participate. We'll be using quizzes for one part, and then we'll be using just like chat for other parts. But please try your best either to use your mic or in the chat to participate. I'm looking to see that everyone is involved and engaged in our trip. And we will be using Google Drawing for one part of the lesson and quizzes, so please make sure that you're on a laptop device. If you need to rejoin, that's totally fine. All right, you guys, so just before we get started, how's everybody doing? I was kind of chatting with you guys before we got started, but just on a scale of like 1 through 5, how are we feeling? You can also add a couple words if you feel like you like to share. Yay. 3.5, 2, 3, 1. I'm at a 1 today. Awesome. See you another 1. That's great, you guys. Well, I hope that, Nafisa, you said 2. I hope that this will get you to a 1 if you're not at, okay, fine, I'm a 2. It's okay, Ellie, if you feel like you're 3.5, you can be a 3.5. Hopefully this will get you to closer to a 1 because we're doing something fun today. We're going on a trip. All right, you guys, so where are we right now? We're at the train station and we're waiting for the J. You guys hear the subway car coming? Okay, so we've been riding the J train. You guys all swiped in, we're finding our seats, and we've been taking it for about 45 minutes now. And now we're arriving at 86th Street. As the video takes too long to buffer. Does anyone have any? Oh, Ellie, if you don't have time for it. Welcome, you guys. We made it. If only traveling on the subway and everything was that easy for field trips. Nicholas said he got on the wrong train. He said he got on the wrong train. I forgot to get lunch. It's okay, you guys. We can do this. All right, you guys, welcome to the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum. Has anyone ever been here before? Or seen it or heard of it?
Is it in New York?
Thanks, Ellie. Yes, it is. We just arrived, so we got off the subway at 86th Street. So this is a museum, a design museum in New York. It's inside of the Carnegie Mansion, and it opened in 2014. So when you go inside, it's like you're in a museum, except you're also inside of a mansion. So it's kind of cool to see, like, how, you know, some of the rooms look modern, but like the staircases and everything, they're very like elaborate with designs and lots of cool wooden moldings.
Mm-hmm. That seems cool.
Yeah, so welcome, you guys. I'm super excited to do this little virtual trip with you. Just let you guys know, the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum is the only museum in the US exclusively just dedicated to historical and contemporary design. And they actually have one of the biggest collections of designs. It's 210,000 design objects spanning 30 centuries. So they have stuff that goes from ancient all the way through to modern contemporary design. So it's a really cool collection. And obviously now we're doing virtual, but I'd really love to in the future take you guys here so you could see this place in person because it's really cool and it's very interactive. And just to go back to this, This museum, it's a way for us to, it really highlights the way that design is used in our world to improve everybody's life. So how can design improve, oh, our experience? Sorry. There we go, Adobe. Okay, I have two people in the waiting room. Okay, so Isaiah, could you help us go over our objectives?
Yes, let me fix this real quick. All right. There's like a black pad in front of me. I can't read it. I think
Okay.
it's on your screen.
Oh, no
Yeah.
worries. Could I have another volunteer read our objectives?
I can read. I can read. I see it now. It
Okay,
moved
okay, great,
over.
great, great, great.
SW, participate in a virtual field trip to the Cooper. How you say the last word?
Hewitt,
Hewitt Smithsonian Design
Smithsonian.
Museum.
Yeah,
Smithsonian Design Museum.
yeah.
Discuss an artwork and collaborate on a group design. Designers view museums and galleries for inspiration and stay engaged with art and design communities. Looking at discussing artworks can inspire designers to help them overcome creative blocks.
Awesome. So even like not even if you're a student, designers and artists will often visit museums as a way to get inspired. And oftentimes they actually include art history in their work. And that's something that we'll actually be looking at today.
To like create nice
Right.
art
So,
pieces.
right, exactly. Okay, you guys, so now I have a little video overview of the collections. All right, you guys.
Now to show the video, I remember people like taking pictures there and they would like post it on social media, especially the clock wall. Like
Yeah.
I don't know they allow you to change the time in the museum to like show what time it is gonna be when you take a picture.
Oh, cool. So you've been there before?
Yeah, I've been there twice.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
before my mother used to have this pass, right? Because she used to work with my sister's students in her school, and they would give
Yeah,
her a pass to
cultural path.
museums.
Yeah.
And she could go to most museums in New York. And I remember we got went there one time, and it was cool because there's a lot of interactive things at the museum that you can like mess
That's
around
so
with and play with.
awesome. I didn't even know that. So you're a good person to have come on museum trips now that I know that because you've been
Mhm.
to a lot.
I've been to a lot of museums. They even have like science museums that you could like play around and like experiment with
Yeah,
things in the
the
museum.
Museum of Math is like really cool and interactive too.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
they have like a nature one too. It's cool.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Isaiah. So you guys, we are, let's see in the chat how we're doing here. Spy Museum is my favorite. I've never been there. So you guys, what we're going to be doing today, we're going to do a little discussion. You guys are going to choose your own adventure and which object we'll talk about. While we're discussing, you guys are actually going to respond to 2 questions about an artwork using quizzes. So rather than using the chat, I actually want to have you guys write in your responses and then we'll go into a discussion. So what this sounds like, you guys are going to start just by writing your responses down in quizzes. Then we can start discussing unmuting ourselves, elaborate on comments. I'm going to skip the music for right now because my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow. And if you guys want to level up and do an extra challenge, what you can do is also elaborate and describe what you believe the artwork to be about. What were the artist's intentions when they created this design? So you guys, I'm going to actually leave this up to you. You can decide in the chat and I'll go to the one where majority rules, where you would like to go. So you can go to the left or to the right. Which object is more interesting to you? You can also unmute yourself. So I see one vote for the right, controller of the universe. Jonathan voted for the right.
Most people are voting for the right.
Okay, awesome. So I got about 6 votes for the right. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the right to controller of the universe. Okay, you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you this link. In the chat, and what you guys are gonna do is respond to the questions through quizzes. Oh my goodness. There we go. I've been having like these internet connectivity problems. It's been all day today. Okay, you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to the link that I'm going to send you in the chat. And I believe that link that I just sent you also has the code. And you guys, please enter your first name. Don't put in a nickname because I want to make sure I count your participation for this. So just put in your first name. Okay, Jonathan is here. Antonio. And Alexander.
If you need me to read the meeting code, I can. If you guys are on the website.
Yeah, sure. You can read it. That would be helpful. Nickelodeon. Nick. Oh, Nick. I'll take it because the beginning is accurate. Okay, we got Shane, Nafisa. I'll give another few seconds for people to join. Soraya, you guys, Soraya, Axel. Who else? Okay, we got Isaiah joined. If you guys could go to the link in the chat. I'm going to start it. You guys can join just so we can get forward. All right, you guys. So the question is, what do you notice about this artwork? So there's no right or wrong answer, just a short observation of what you see. Please be as specific as possible, right around 1 to 2 sentences. What do you notice about this artwork? You guys are able to see the picture up close, right? Awesome. So I see some sort of responses here already. There's pieces of wood all over hanging in the air, defying gravity, many items floating in midair, floating, weapons floating in the air. Awesome. So you guys, we're going to take about, it says 40 seconds to submit our responses to the first question. I notice the weapons look like they're floating and it gives off a cool gravity feel. I notice the way the weapons look and they are all heading the same way. Yes, good observation. Great, you guys. Got another 15 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to our next question. This music and timer so dramatic. All right, so you guys, if you could ask one question to this artist about this work, what would it be?
So all the other people in the chat, the link for the quiz is in the chat. You can press it and it takes you straight to the website.
Yes. And if you're unable to join, you can also just write your response in the chat. We're going to discuss after too. So, okay, so questions. Alexander said, how did you make this cool floating effect without strings? Nafisa said, one question I would ask is, what was the inspiration for it? Antonio, why are there weapons? And why are they floating? Nickelodeon said, what prompts them to have an idea of floating objects? Great question. Is the weapon going to fly through the window? Ooh, good question, Shane. Another 50 seconds. What ideas did you want to give those who viewed this piece? Awesome, Jonathan. Ellie, why is this like frozen in time? Great questions, you guys. Got another 30 seconds to respond. What prompted them? Oh yeah, I read that one. Oh, does it symbolize something from a dream or does it have a greater meaning? That's a great question too. All right, you guys, that was awesome. Great job. Great participation in the quizzes. Now I'm going to return back to our lesson and allow you guys to share. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to discuss or share that you noticed about this artwork? So I actually have a little short video for you guys. I think it's only a minute long. So this artwork is by Damian Ortega. And he actually, when he designed this, it's a whole bunch of different tools. So the idea behind it is that he's thinking about how tools the meaning of tools and how they were designed to create other objects, but also that they can be used to destroy. So I think when you guys were talking about how, they kind of look like weapons, like also he was thinking about how tools not only have this purpose of creating things, but they can also destroy things or harm things. So you guys were spot on with that. And then also the way that there's like this directional challenge, like they're all going outwards. So when you stand and actually experience the object in the space, you feel that. So you guys are spot on with that.
It looks like when you look closer, you can tell they're tools.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like staring at it now, you can see like the axe and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to play this short video for you guys, and as well, unmute yourself if you'd like to share or write in the chat.
The idea of the piece is when you can walk through, if you stand up in the center, all the pieces are in the eye level, and you see in some way like a perspective from the center to outside. Potentially you can touch all the pieces, everyone is on your hand distance. It's very important, the experience, when you are close to the piece. You can see in images, in pictures, but it's really different than the physical experience. The most important tool of the human is the language, to understand, to classify, to divide and transform an idea. The history of the tools is a book which I tried to find many times. I went to bookstores and I asked, do you have a book about the history of tools? And it was not existing. The invention and the imagination of the scientist is creative and playful and experimental and enjoyable, like the artist. Then it's like difficult to separate and to split the science or technology with the art and science, or with the real tools, let's say, or the art tools.
All right, you guys. So this artwork is definitely, both of the artworks that I picked and many of the artworks in this museum, you have to really go there and experience them. So I was hoping that the video helped you guys understand a little bit about like what it would be like to be in the space of the artwork. And before we go on to our next activity, is there anything else that anyone would like to share, or any questions they have? Right, so it's like, oh, Ellie said they're wondering why I couldn't see a sword. Nick said a history of tools. Right, so one of the things that a lot of artists and designers do is they do something called an assemblage. So they take different objects. This is a project that a lot of people will do in like design school or art school, and they assemble them. So assemblage is the word, that assemblage, where you're combining different objects together. So that's exactly what he's done with these tools. But he's thought about how he's arranging them and putting them in an interesting way that kind of talks about the history of tools, but then also has this type of experience where you're in there and you're like, wow, like you're in the center of the artwork. Yes, I know you guys probably have to go to another class. If you do have to hop off and go to another class, that's okay. What you can do is you can participate in the next activity after the lesson. So we're gonna wrap up in about 9 minutes. And I do know that some of you do have a crossover though. Okay, so now we're going to make our way over to the design lab. So what we're going to do in the design lab, so when you visit this museum and you do a tour, they have an area where you get to kind of collaborate with each other and interact with the museum objects in an interesting way. So what I have is just a little activity for us to collaborate together. So I'm going to share a link to, oops, I'm going to share a link to a Google Drawing document in the chat. And we're actually just going to collaborate. You guys can click on that link there. And we're going to collaborate in a little bit of a design. So what I've done in this Google document is we have different shapes, and we have about, I think, 15 different objects from the Cooper Hewitt design collection. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take turns and kind of arrange and move some objects onto the canvas and create a design together. Okay, so was everybody able to go to that link? I sent it in the chat. Okay, awesome. So I see Jonathan was able to pull it up. So I'll just show you guys a little bit what it looks like here. So the area with the checkers in the center is where we have our canvas. And then outside of the canvas, we've got all of these different objects, and I put the names of the object next
I
to
don't
them.
mean to interrupt, Ms. Woods. Would you like me to take attendance now?
Yes, that'd be great. I have the students who had to leave early too, so just make sure you know those students. All right, so Jonathan, do you want to start us off by putting an object into the canvas? And you can resize it, you can crop it, do anything you'd like to. Okay. So while Jonathan's doing that, could I have two more students, Alexander and Axel? Could you add your added item to our artwork, our canvas? I'm gonna go to. And I'm actually going to adjust the picture a little bit. I want it to be a little bit transparent. I'm also going to add in a drop shadow and reflection. No worries if you have to go. I'm putting the directions on Google Classroom for you guys to finish this part later. Okay, so everyone else that's able to, that's here right now, Caesar, Shane, and Soraya, you guys can add in. So basically what we're doing is we have all of these different objects, and we're not really gonna know how this ends up until everyone puts in their revision or their addition. So we're gonna have to wait and see what the final one will look like. And I'll send this out to the class after I get everyone to make a revision. Bye, Alex. Shane, did you add one in? Soraya?
Hmm?
Did you guys add anything yet?
I'm still.
You get to decide what object you'd like to add in. And the cool thing about Google Drawing is I can see who's added what, which is, so then I can share that with the class and we can kind of see how we ended up getting what we did. Okay, you guys, so I think maybe we're having some connectivity issues with everyone else that's here. Oh, I see a couple people popped up here. So I'm gonna share this with the class on Google Classroom so everybody can collaborate and add on to this. Okay, you guys, so you can make your revisions there while you're doing your, oh, awesome, I see some things are happening, great. So while you guys are doing that, because we only have a couple more minutes, I just wanted to wrap it up and tell you guys, thank you for your participation. Thank you for visiting the Cooper Hewitt Museum with me today. That was really fun. Just to let you guys know, to give you a heads up, our next project, we're actually going to be taking inspiration from the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum collections. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at different objects in the collection, find something that's interesting to us, and then incorporate that into a design in a new way. And so that'll be a fun activity. We're going to do that next class. And now we're just going to do a little bit of a wrap up. You guys can unmute yourselves or write in the chat just to give me some feedback, what you enjoyed about our lesson today or anything that you learned. And before we close up the lesson. And you guys can write in the chat too. Thanks, Miss Lynch. Yeah, Isaiah's awesome.
Good job, Isaiah. You're still here.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.
You too.
Is anybody there?
Ms.
Shane,
Woods, a lot of these names keep cutting off from you as I'm trying to put them in to send them to you as an email.
Oh, that's okay. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Oh.
to the email that I'm sending.
Oh,
and-
I took a screenshot. Don't worry.
All right. So just send me the screenshot and I'll write all the names and just send them.
Got it. Some people already left, but that's okay. I think it went well. It was fun.
Yeah, it was nice.
Okay, I'm gonna close this up. I think, Soraya, are you guys there? Soraya and Caesar and Axel were like there, but I don't know if they were actually there because I can't hear them or like they weren't responding.
We got less than a minute left.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I'm just sending you the attendance. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, bye y'all.
Bye, guys.
Have a good day.